Hey, want to know how bad racism is in America? It's so bad that some spoiled, rotten students that happen to be black can stand on a campus and make threats and demands without getting shot in the eye with a beanbag.
I think what's happening. Propaganda.
Is there anybody in my audience that feels like color should determine whether or not you go to college? I highly doubt it. I got a strange suspicion that all of y'all feel like college is for those who can make the grade. Now, these students are prime examples of why it's difficult for blacks to fare better in this country. It's not that people doubt our abilities. The problem is mostly with attitude. I would not hire people who convey attitudes like this. And they're proving that they're not the type of persons I would want on my campus. Here are examples of why blacks are marked with others wondering if we're really qualified to do a job. Because how do you know this person isn't truly talented? Because for all you know, it could be another black person who got their degree because they made demands instead of making the grade. The sad part is that these students think that they're going to gain respect on campus by demanding things be given to them. So many liberals of all ethnicities fell for the post-racism lie that surrounded Obama. The University of Michigan is one of those liberal campuses where liberalism is cultivated. Many alumni voted for Obama, and it still wasn't good enough. If you didn't vote for Obama, you're a racist. So by that logic, if you did vote for Obama, well, then you shouldn't be a racist. Well, lots of alumni from that school voted for Obama. So why are y'all still playing the race card on such a liberal campus? Because you're spoiled rotten with a chip on your shoulder and nothing makes you happy, except for dragging others into your misery for some sense of satisfaction. Now you got these entitlement-minded thugs with a better vocabulary at least, basically threatening the campus with terrorism as they threaten them with the knockout game or something. Gee, I wonder how come Homeland Security isn't on top of them like a bunch of cops on the last donut in a donut shop. And again, I guess if the country were as racist as y'all try to make it out to be, you wouldn't have been able to stand on a university campus and make demands and threats. There's racism, sure, but not in the manner in which these students assert. And the irony is, these students are exemplifying the stereotype that causes the white people they think that are against them to rightfully perceive them as demanding thugs, who believe that they're entitled to accommodations. And these wannabe terrorists want to threaten the school with the jihad. Let me give you a valuable life lesson that no university can give you a degree in to prove that you're educated and intelligent. Truly intelligent people are more often successful in the long run by being gracious, not demanding. Now, I know the Afrocentrics who are viewing this vid are probably blazing mad with a napalm afro for what I'm saying, and are probably cursing at me with the typical assertion, you're just looking for a pat on the back from them white folks, and they just love you because you say all the stuff that white folks want you to say. That assertion is stupid. There are just as many white people infuriated by my work as there are white people who enjoy my work. White people who hate my work are the kind of white people who hide their racism behind Obama. They're the ones who are like, I can call you an Uncle Tom because I voted for Obama. That's the new Democrat Party, because why hide behind hoods and sheets when it's much more effective to screw the black community by hiding behind a black president and so-called good intentions? If I was so hung up on getting white people to like me, I wouldn't be so admittedly partisan with my message. And I reckon I would try to get approval from those so-called cool white people. But you know who seeks the approval of the cool white people? So he can get more love from other white people who have been made to feel like it's cool to feel guilty about being white? Well, that would be the president that you voted for. Twice. Who was elected because he told many white people what they wanted to hear. He didn't tell them what they needed to hear. And what they wanted to hear was that they had an opportunity to show that they are a better class of people. Remember, ultimately, Democrats want to be perceived as better people. That's why supremacy and pride themes run rampant in their party. White power KKK, founded by the Democrats. Black power Afrocentrics, typically vote Democrat. Brown pride, La Raza, etc., typically vote Democrat. Feminine pride, typically vote Democrat. Gay pride, typically vote Democrat. I think you get my point. Anyway, in the desire to be better than you in the new age supremacy era, they figure if they just voted for Obama, they would be cleansed, sanctified, absolved, and qualified as a true progressive. They would be reborn, and life would begin anew as they embraced this figure of hope and change. They wanted to hear that their redemption was secured in one simple act: vote for Obama. Like a person who believes that weight loss is as simple as taking a pill. The one who was guilty of telling white people what they wanted to hear was the man you voted for. So this idea that white people like me because I tell them what they want to hear is stupid. The big money and fame is in telling white people what Obama told them. The big money and fame is in parroting the message of Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, Samuel L. Jackson, Tom Morello, Harry Belafonte, Chris Rock, and the Oprah. That's where the big money and fame is. Indicting people and playing on victimhood and guilt and giving people a false sense of boosted self-esteem and making themselves feel like they're better people, accusing others of being corrupt and lowly. That's a money-making machine engineered in America by the Democrat Party. I'm Alfonso Rachel with ZoNation, and violence is sometimes necessary. It took violence to end slavery, despite those liberals and libertarians who say, oh, slavery would have eventually ended. Shut up. How about we throw shackles on you and beat you upside your head and behind, then send you out in the hot sun and then reward you with a pair of tight-fitting shoes and a front row seat while your woman gets raped, and see if you wouldn't welcome a military to come expedite the eventuality of your freedom. See, Afrocentrics? I just ticked off some white people there. But I digress. The violence these students are implicating has no redeeming value. Listen to these students. I can tell that they're better educated than I am. It's not their lack of resources or their ethnicity that's the issue. It's their attitude. They equate success with people yielding to their attempts to be intimidating. They want to dominate and make people bend forward for them because they're supposedly owed. Maybe one day when they're all grown up, they'll realize that people being bullied into bending forward for you isn't what's important. It's the humble nature that causes people to want to bend over backwards for you. That's what's important. Want to threaten the school with a jihad.